Hi, it's Avi Chenda here from at We Like Beans and at figure.8.energy on Instagram. And today I am in our pop-up healing space, and I have this box of equipment, my sciencey technology side of healing. You know, what I've spoken about before with the right frequency machine. It's called a Spooky 2, and it gives me the ability to run biofeedbacks on people and see what's going on in their body on a spiritual, emotional, and physical level, as well as gives me the ability to program energies as well, and that can be through contact or it can be remote. And what's really cool about this is it's compact enough for me to be able to travel with. So I do bring it with me whenever I'm traveling, and people also ask me to come to them sometimes. So if it's ever something that you would like, ding, great idea. If that's ever something that you would like to open yourself up to, that is absolutely an option. This is what the device looks like right here. There's several different versions. This is the one I have, and I currently have some TENS pads attached to it, and I have a program that I'm going to run, and this is the remote attachment for it. This is where you put in the DNA. And I'm going to attach it to this output and just get everything set up. And what's really divine is what I came on here to talk to y'all about is this invisible world, right? And specifically with DNA, something happened with my sweet darling Rian yesterday, and I didn't have much clarity on it until today. You know, it was one of the situations where I was just navigating it and taking a very scientific approach to it, as well as a metaphysical approach. So my sweet darling is just being his wonderful self, and then he exclaims and states that his cheek hurts. His cheek hurts, he wants hugs, he wants kisses. And immediately when he said that his cheek hurted, I remember looking at him and realizing that his necklace was gone. Immediately I was like, Rian, where's your necklace? And I scanned the room, found it, and put it on him. I was just like, Rian, we have to keep our necklace on. And then I looked at his cheek, right? And this all happened like very, very quickly. It was just like, Rian, where's your necklace? And then like put it on him, and I was looking at his cheek, and I was like, I don't see anything wrong with his cheek. I was thinking like, why would his cheek hurt? And I was asking him, I was like, did you hit your face? Were you climbing on something? No, my cheek hurts. It's like, did you get bit by something? I was like, it was an ant? Was it a spider? And then I was like, did you get bit by a bug? And then I don't know if this was an actual answer to his question, because it sounded like now he was just going on this narrative with me, right? He's like, ladybug, red. And so then I was thinking, it's like, get bit by a ladybug? Like, why would it be causing you so much pain? Right? So yeah, we're navigating this, and it was coming in waves, right? Like, so he had the pain on his face, and then he would go and watch a show. Yes, I do let him watch shows, because we're in the technology age, okay? Like, he has an iPad, and he has moments where he uses his iPad, and they're strategic things, and He is the way he is because I allow for that integration of technology. Just saying, that's technology. I'm not against technology. I think we should navigate it consciously. But so that's that little deep dive. So he's going back and forth between his iPad and me, and I'm just like, okay, it seems like this is getting more intense. Then a fever comes on. I'm just like, whoa, like, what is this? It must be like a spider bite, because why is he having this reaction? And so I'm tending to him the whole night, right? And I was up from like 3 a.m. to maybe 6:30 a.m. working in bed on my laptop on some consultation, follow-up information. But before that, like, he had been stirring, like every so often, asking for hugs and kisses, right? And always on that same cheek. And I'm looking at him the entire night, right? There's no swelling. There's no intense redness. There's no holes. Nothing. There's no marks inside of his mouth. He doesn't have any sores. And so, like, I keep asking him all these questions. I'm like feeling like I'm doing all the things, and it's like I don't quite understand what's going on. And so I did end up giving him like a very mild dose of some pain reliever in his smoothie and in the rising, and then today, nothing. Like, he's back to normal. It was just like that fever. And I was like, this is so strange. And so I told a couple folks about it. And one of my friends reached out to me today, and she was just like, Davi, I cussed out blank. Like, I felt his presence and I started cursing him out. And I was like, you leave them alone. He's an innocent boy, blah, 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 blah. And then she was just like, does that mean anything to you? And then I was just like, whoa. And I told her the story. I told her whenever he told me that his cheek hurt, immediately I looked down for his necklace and saw his necklace was gone. Okay, and so the thing with the necklace is it's black tourmaline. Okay, black tourmaline is a spiritual protection necklace. Stone, crystal, and I like grid rooms with it. I need to grid the space with it. It's a little interesting for me to navigate being in a house because there's like so many rooms, and I try to put protection over like each space, but there's always more to do, right? So I don't have protection over the entire space right now. And so I very much rely on him to be able to wear his protection necklace so that he has that protection everywhere he goes. And we had come out of an environment over the holidays where, like, I knew going into it that there were going to be some dense energies there. And typically whenever people are going through their own personal emotional things in their lower part of the frequency spectrum, they have entities that are attached to them, right? And these entities, they do like to attack the things that are lighter. So children, that's like the perfect source to go to because they're so close to source. They're like all of this limitless life force energy, and they're so vulnerable, you know, like if they don't have their protections or they're not conscious of what's happening. And so oftentimes children get attacked, and there's so many instances I can tell you, so many stories, and maybe we'll get to some of them. But I remember I decided to leave that environment early because I was feeling it, and I was recognizing the energetic effect. And it wasn't like my children were in distress or anything, but I could tell that the energy was disrupting their normal flow, and it was definitely affecting me. And when I was packing up, I noticed that there was a shard of his necklace on the nightstand. I was just like, whoa. he had an impact that chipped off a decent shard of his black tourmaline. And for those of y'all that don't know about crystals, black tourmaline is one of the hardest crystals. Like, it needs to have several hits in order to break like that. And I've only ever experienced a fracture of a black tourmaline one other time, and it was also in protection over Rian. And it was when we were in Hawaii. Okay, I was in a household where there was lots of spiritual activity happening, and I fell into the role of basically being like an exorcist. Okay, like, I did not know this is what I was going into, but like, well, I'm not gonna just stay there while this child is getting tormented. This child was 3 years old, and he had a 1-year-old sister. And so every single day, it was just like, I have my newborn baby. Rian was 3 months old at the time, and I have his black tourmaline. I would like drape it over, I forget what it's called. It's like a little bouncy thing. You just like lay him in. It has like a little mobile top. So 1111 as I'm saying that. And so that was his protection while I'm navigating all this stuff. And I just remember thinking, like, as I'm navigating and helping these children, it's like, I do not want him in this environment. Like, I don't even want to be in this environment, but I feel a little stuck, right? And so eventually, like, there was a Daijinga down the street, and I would go there often and seek counsel and advice from the divine that emanates through that particular building. And it's like a Shinto Buddhism temple, the second largest one in the world, by the way. Oh, it was amazing. And I basically went there, and they had this rock, and like, it's a stone that you pick up, and you ask a question, you pick it up, and if it's light, the answer is yes, and if it's heavy, the answer is no. And so, like, I would do that, and I remember asking so many different questions, and at the end of the whole thing, it was just like, I literally have done everything that I came here to do. I've done everything that I can for them. You know, I taught them tools and techniques, like, not just the household, but the children as well. Like, they grasped it. We put it into action, into practice. And so I went on my way. I hopped islands, and when I got to my other friend's space, his tourmaline shattered. It was like so many pieces everywhere. And I remember my friend holding it in her hand and just being like, oh my goodness, like, she thought she did it. And I had to let her know, like, no, that's not how black tourmaline works. You can't just break it like that. It has to have so many blows. And you know, we're realizing this is happening is as I'm telling her what I had just navigated out of. And at the time, Rian had this bassinet type stroller that he was in. And during the story, the stroller started rolling towards the door. My friend saw it. She's like, oh my goodness. And we both run up, and we go to get it, and we're just like, oh my goodness. And that's when I had to go like sage the whole house and put all the proper protective mechanisms into place. And I'm telling you guys all that to remind you that there are invisible forces out there, and our children are so susceptible to them. And you might be thinking, like, why would an invisible force even try to be after me? It's like, well, one, the child is a light being. You know, they're fresh, new. They have all of this life force energy that is prime for a wandering spirit, or a spirit that is looking for a life force, you know. And the particular being that was connected to the instance yesterday happens to be shares biology with him. So when I talk about things like the spooky and how I can use bits of DNA to transfer energy to you, that's also what people do with things like magic, right? Magic is something that we were taught is not real. But darlings, magic is so real. Magic is energy. Magic is intention. Magic is symbolism. And with enough energy and intention, getting attention and being directed, things happen. And when I say those biological factors, it has an even stronger connection to it. So you can use it for good or you can use it for evil, right? It depends on what the being is operating from, what place. And because we aren't always sure who is sending attacks our way, and we don't even want to believe that attacks are being sent our way, but it's important to just make sure that you're protected, you know, and that your children are protected. And so, like I was saying, black tourmaline is great for that. There's also different ways you can use it. So yeah, you can wear it, but you can also grid your space with it, like put a tourmaline in each corner and connect it. I actually have a cute little video up on I think it's We Light Beans YouTube. I'll probably transfer it over to Figure Eight Energy at some point, and but it shows you how to do it and how to cleanse them and all of these things. You can also ask your ancestral angels and spirit guides for protection as well. And make sure that you're keeping the vibration up around you, because things like those types of ailments, right? The like freak things that just suddenly happen and suddenly disappear. I know a big part of why it disappeared too was because he had all protection over it, but like still the energy had already been afflicted. But I was making sure that I was putting my healing hands on his space, on his body, filling him with love energy, because love is seriously the strongest energy, the strongest frequency. You know, all these fairy tales that are just like true love's kiss can break any curse and blah blah blah. It's because love, right? Compassion. There's so much that we have been told that is truth. Like, it's been painted as fantasy, but it is actual truth. And so that's just like a little story that I wanted to share with you guys. This right here is a pulsar. Oh, spooky. It's spooky and it has a ghost on it. Isn't that so cute? So this, I don't have it hooked up right now because my laptop is charging, but you put it on your finger and you can feel your pulse through it, right? So what's happening is when I run a biofeedback, it is shooting frequencies at your body, and whatever your heart registers at the frequencies, it's telling me, and it's like dinging and saying, oh, this is a frequency that's active right now. So that's a pretty cool thing that's happening as well. I'm not gonna set everything up, but I also have another one. It's for the earlobe. That is something, but it also measures pulse as well. So I just want to get that set up so I can get some frequencies starting to go forth on that arrangement. And that's all set up. My room's a little bit in shambles right now because we had a contractor here for the past few days and they were doing some work in this room. But I am going to pull some cards for the collective messages. You know what? I'm feeling something. Feeling something right now. I try to go forth and pull some cards for myself earlier. But then the divine intervened and was just like, no, it's not quite time for that, you know? And so I put on standstill, and the questions that I wanted to ask earlier, I don't even want to ask them because I already know the answer. I already know the answer. And I'm just supposed to wait. I'm supposed to wait. Basically, be patient and just like keep doing me. I've felt like I've been in a vortex recently. And I weave in, I weave out of it. But when I jump into these vortex, I'm like highly productive, like doing these crazy big level things that I can't even convey to you. And it was the other day I was seeing my higher self. Like my higher self was just like viewing everything that was happening. And it was just like, I was thinking, it's like, whoa, I am doing so much right now. Let me pull myself out for a moment and make a list of everything that I've accomplished today. All the different things. And I was just like, how is this even possible? And it's because we're in different timelines right now, like weaving in and out of them, and just there's so much happening this year. This year's already started, and so I know a lot of what's happening right now in my world is I am using this time to just keep flowing, keep going. And major things are happening this year. Oh my goodness, I can't even share all of the vision because it's so much. To think about it overwhelms me. But to sit with the energy of it, I'm so grateful. Oh my goodness, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. It's like this year is definitely the year of being fully my authentic self, and I am excited to share that with y'all. So anyways, like, let's get on with this. Interesting enough, so I pulled Sage card, and we have a Sage Brigade next week where my friend and I are doing an interpretive dance, okay? And this dance, it speaks about the history of sage and how to respect sage, and yeah, it's a really beautiful spiritual dance about sage, and she's going to be teaching a workshop on how to make sage, and you can make your own bundles with different herbs and crystals, and then we're going to I'm going to cast some protection over everybody in the space, and then we're going to walk a block in one of the prominent, popular areas of Jacksonville, Florida, and just cleanse the energy, and then cleanse ourselves in protection again, and then come back and have a potluck and just like this beautiful celebration where we can dance, play, and be. And it's a free event too, so if y'all are watching this in real time and you're available, it's next week. Check my Instagram for that information. And so it's a sage. And anyways, this is the high priest. It's like, you know, like there's a lot of power behind that, and it's a lot of like cleansing energy. And that's like a good reminder for you guys too, is make sure you're cleansing your home, you know, do it with respect. Make sure you're cleansing yourself, make sure you're cleansing your body, just making sure that you have more pathways for energy to flow through. Because like even within your body, if you're feeling a dense emotion and you're not allowing yourself to eat lighter foods, to drink things, to fast every now and then you are literally just allowing all this dense energy to stay inside of you, and it's going to fester and grow and manifest nasty things. And right now we just need to make sure we're flowing with as much clear energy as possible, so that the energy that comes in, so the energy that we're emanating right now is our energy, and we can really work towards just being in and operating with higher frequencies. You know, like we all deserve to have clarity and to feel safe and free in our own being. Okay, so let's see what else is going to come out here. Yeah, cleanse your space, okay? Cleanse your space. have the Three of Pentacles. And so this is Janishan, and there's a farmer on here right now. He is sowing the seeds. And so very much part of the dance is like the sowing the seeds of the sage. But yeah, get clear on what your intentions are, like how you want to show up, how you want to manifest, and let different aspects of yourself go. Just like let it pass away. It's really beautiful. And be prepared to pack up everything and to go. You know, you are ready to go into the next adventure, but you can only do that when you have the intention of really resetting yourself, cleansing, and getting clear on what your intentions are, and then letting those negative energies and densities go. And then the adventure is waiting for you, right? Pack up everything, get on a boat, and sail into the unknown, because the unknown is something that you've already sowed. And I'm telling you guys, like, we are shifting timelines. Yeah, the Emperor, like, once you do this, like, you're going to be so in your power, and you deserve to be that way. You deserve to exist in your authenticity. Like, let those little narratives go. We don't need them anymore. Cut off energies that aren't helping you. You know, like, give up the kiss of death. Like, how long do we want to be stuck? Do we really want to stay tied to that shore? Or are you ready to, like, pull the anchor up and just, like, let go out and experience the things that you've sown for yourself? Let's see if there's anything else that's coming up. Oh, another thing is, like, sickness is really beautiful sometimes, because it gives you the opportunity to sit with those densities that are in your body, because that's one of the things that really highlighted, because you're sitting in that lower frequency spiral, and it's there, and you're staring it in the face, and you have the choice whether you want to let it stay in your body, or if you want to release it, because now you're in that space, right? Like, you see right here, you can take it, you can throw it away, but look at it first and see why it's there. I just saw 2722 whenever I was saying that, and that's very, very much just like telling me, it's like, yeah, let that negativity go, and when you let that negativity go, there's going to be abundance. We got the 5 cups reversed. Yeah, it's like, and there's horsetail too. So like, what I'm seeing with this is, like, there are some cups, right, and they're spilled over, and this person's like looking really sad, and it's like, yeah, he's really sad because he has, like, all of these cups of things, and some of the things that he has aren't serving anymore. They're kind of pointless. So just, like, spill them, and then know that whenever you do that, you're gonna have some empty cups. You're gonna have some empty cups that you can fill again, and it's gonna be things that aren't going to give you melancholy, and maybe there's even some love in your future. You know, there's oh my goodness, this is beautiful. There are 2 cups spilled right here, and then there are 2 cups in their hands. You know what this is telling me right now? It's telling me that there are some things that you may be holding on to that need to be let go in order for you to refill your cup, and not just refill it, to share it with somebody else. Like, this is very healing. This is very beautiful. Like, come on. You've already felt the hurt. You see this blood, you've already felt the hurt from all that stuff. Just let it go, let it go. This is what you could have. This is what you could have. I love this. We have the 2 of Pentacles, right? So she has her energy, right? And it's very much in balance. And there's the infinity sign, right? So it's just like what she's putting out, she's getting back. And this is a very gentle flow. She seems to be very happy. And in the background, you can see that there are 2 seals out there. So this is telling me that this is about multiple people. You know, sure, you have your own things that you need to balance, and you can do it with grace. And then when you realize that you are in balance with yourself, like, you can share that with others. And And you may have things that you have to overcome. You may have things that you still need to fight, right? But there's magic. There's so much magic. I'm seeing like with this Eight of Wands, and it's like right at the sassafras tree. I'm gonna look for a little more guidance on the sassafras tree. I know that like it is very medicinal. Crazy, I opened it right to the page. But it can mean that there's struggle. Yeah, so like you could give everything and you have to tackle and observe the obstacles that are on every single side simultaneously. And that's how you get to what it is you want, you know? Like in order to have this Two of Cups right here, you have to make sure that you're holding on to the things and that you're having an energy budget and you're balancing it. What you're giving out, you're getting back, and not necessarily from the same source, but at least from a way that where it's sustainable. And it means letting go of some things that aren't serving your purpose anymore. Like you've already felt this. Knock the cups over, taste the blood again, and then release it. And whenever you do taste it, like you're going to have to fight through some things, and you're going to have to look at how it's affected you on so many different forefronts in your life, and ultimately truth. So like this is like something that's really beautiful. I love what this is saying right now. Thank you, Herbal Deck. I love this deck so much. These cards are so pretty. Okay. This is my very first tarot deck. I forget how many years ago I got it. Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. But the Hermetic deck just like didn't really resonate with me. And I've always been drawn to plants, and I specifically like love herbalism too. So that's really what my favorite deck is. And this is a newer deck. This was a gift. This is just like an everyday tarot. So I'm just gonna pull one card, unless more side they wanna pull out. So another card for the collective that is tuned into this right now. So whatever guidance that they may need. Whoa, that's a lot. We're not taking all these. Okay. This one. Okay. We have the Chariot reverse. Okay, I know you probably couldn't read that because it was really fast, but I'll show it again in a moment as I read. Let's see. No, I don't know all of these things yet. But okay, so I'll hold it upright just so you can look at it. No, I won't. Here you go. Connect with your inner strength and willpower to move forward. Your motivation comes from within, not from an external source. You cannot control everything. Sometimes it is best to loosen your grip. The things that have happened to you before might have been out of your control. But you wanted to control the future so that those things don't happen again, right? But by doing that, by existing in this rigidity, you're not allowing other things to flow. And you may be looking for external validation for what you want or what you should pursue, or just like have a second opinion because there's a part of you that's afraid that something that happened that was out of your control might happen again. And this card is really shedding the insight for you to just loosen the grip a little bit. Trust in the divine. Trust in yourself. Trust that you know you have all the tools that you need. And one last thing. And affirmation for us, please. Inside an affirmation. This one. This is what I got last week when I was like going through some pretty intense energy clearing. I was doing it for myself. I was processing some stuff, and like this, I was changing the frequency. What I was feeling, right? Because I knew that it was just a natural part of the cycle to process it. I hear one of my babies stirring, so I'm just gonna say this really fast, okay? I am open for all good things to come to me now. I am deserving and grateful for all the rich abundance that is mine, okay? Say this really, really fast and loud and keep saying it over and over and over again until you really feel it emanating from you and you know that you are attracting this truth.